guys. Happy rainy Wednesday. Hope everybody got home safely tonight. I am Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. We are discussing what you shouldn't be doing, how you shouldn't be sleeping with back pain. As I always say, these Facebook Lives and these productions, if you can call it a production, are brought on by questions that I get in the clinic. And tonight I had somebody come in who was going to stop running because they have back pain and insisting that running is the cause of back pain. And one of the things that so many people overlook is the fact that things that seem so benign, like sleeping and sitting and standing, are generally the cause of back pain and have been heavily researched and shown to really be the culprit, especially of herniated discs or bulging discs or slip discs or however you want to describe it. Those are mainly the causes of those conditions. So when the first thing people always talk to me about is minimizing activity. It doesn't matter what hurts. It's always the first thing to go. But it really actually more so is your static activity, your static postures that you really need to pay attention to. It doesn't matter necessarily if you're sleeping, standing, sitting there, sitting on your computer, sitting on your smartphone. While it seems very easy, while it seems very innocent, it makes a very tremendous impact on your spine, on your muscles. So never discount the fact that how you sleep or how you carry yourself for the day impacts how your body feels. It can cause neck pain, it can cause back pain, it can cause numbness, tingling, all the above. So it really is important that when you talk about limiting activity or minimizing activity, that you're looking at the right activities to minimize, and it's usually the ones that you don't think about. Like if you wake up in the morning and you're sore or you're stiff, that's an indication that there's a problem. Is it with your mattress? Is it with the way you sleep? What's going on? You should wake up feeling refreshed. Your body should be recovering overnight. Your body should wake up and not have pain, but most people wake up and they feel a little bit stiff or they actually have pain. So we want to talk about what we should not be doing if you have back pain, how you shouldn't be sleeping, because it's really important that you look at the postures and the way you spend most of your day. Sitting, standing, sleeping are the three that you're in one of those generally at all times. So let's talk about sleeping and what you shouldn't do. So if you've watched our other YouTube videos, and if you haven't, you can go to Total Performance Physical Therapy on YouTube, and we have a bunch of videos on different sleeping postures. But we know not to sleep on our stomach, all right? So that is the big no if you have back pain. You don't want to be caught sleeping on your stomach. That can increase a lot of pain in your low back. That can increase a lot of pain going down your legs if you have sciatica or pain going down your legs. So you don't want to do any sort of stomach sleeping. Also, it's really hard when you're sleeping on your stomach to keep your spine in neutral. So that's the main purpose of what we're going to talk about. You need to stop twisting your spine. And there's various ways that your spine gets twisted at night. And that's what we're going to go over, because you need to stop twisting your spine. You need to stop putting your spine in anything but a neutral position. Without that, you're going to wind up with back pain. So we need to find ways to sleep in neutral position, and that is on your back or on your side. I know my stomach sleepers get horribly offended and very upset when I talk about not stomach sleeping, but if you are suffering with back pain, it is the only way that you can really get yourself out of back pain, because you want to have a nice neutral spine. So having a nice neutral spine. Some of the big mistakes that people make and why they can't get comfortable on their back is most people will lay down and try and sleep like this. This looks horrifically uncomfortable. It is horrifically uncomfortable. Now your back is arched because your pelvis is pulling forward. So now you have like all this space underneath your back, which is why after a while of laying like this, you're going to wind up being very, very sore. This is not the correct position to lay in either. And then you usually have covers on top of you, so now you have some pressure weighing down on your body, and it's actually pushing against your back. So this is not how you want to lay down. This is not how you want to be positioned. This is not good, okay? So basically what you want to do is you want to sleep with your knees up in the air, all right? Now obviously this is not realistic, so I have some props here that I'm going to show you, but this is how you want your spine to be. When you go to put your hands underneath your back, you can't really get them under there. There's no room for any sort of, you don't feel a gap. You feel your whole spine pressed against the bed, nice and easy. So for that, we have our first little prop, which is our leg pillow. Now, you don't have to invest in one of these. We just do because we have a physical therapy clinic. But at the end of the day, you can stack up pillows that are going to make your knees high. Now, the biggest problem that people do, and one of the issues that this never works for people, is they stack 2 or 3 pillows and then they put their legs on top of them. And basically they wind up a little bit better, something more, it looks like this. Okay, so your knees are slightly bent, but the weight of your legs have compressed the pillow. So basically you're back to where you started, and your back is uncomfortable again. And you want to make sure that your knees are high enough, that your legs are supported so that your back is comfortably resting against the bed. You want to make sure that you have a nice supportive pillow. You want to make sure, this one is terrible. It's a medical grade pillow. It's horrible. So you want to make sure that you have something that is supporting your neck. Feather pillows, don't cut it, because the minute you put your head in there, everything smashes down. So you need to have a firmer, supportive pillow that when you lay down, it's going to actually cradle your neck. It's going to cradle your head. It's not just going to smash you down like this one is. Now, if you also suffer with shoulder problems, laying like this can be awful. So you can put pillows underneath your arms so that you actually can sleep with your arms elevated to increase that blood flow while you go to sleep. What you shouldn't do is have any sort of extension or any sort of twist in your spine. So a lot of people like to sleep like this, all right? You're begging yourself to just herniate something when you're sleeping like this with your knees dropped to one side, all right? You want to make sure that if you're laying on your back, your knees are elevated enough so that your spine is pressing into the table or into the bed, and that you are nice and neutral and through here. That is the main thing that needs to happen. Stop laying with your legs flat. Stop trying to, maneuver and move around until you get comfortable. Position enough pillows underneath your knees and underneath your arms, and a good supportive pillow here so that you are not twisting, you are not turning. Let's say you're a side sleeper. I'm a side sleeper, so this one I can even do better. So when you're talking about backs and sides, so when you're sleeping on your side, you're going to need something like this. Now, because I am a woman and my hips are larger, my leg drops down when I go to sleep. This pulls on your back. That's why this type of pillow is necessary. Again, we own a physical therapy clinic, so we have all these fancy things. Just fold up a pillow and put it in between your knees. You don't have to buy anything like this, all right? But what you want to make sure it does is that it evens out your hips and you're not having this drop. You don't want this to fall off, okay? This should be a nice straight line. If this is a straight line, your back's going to be in a straight line, all right? Now, some people even need to have a pillow underneath their rib cage because there's too much of a divot there. If that's necessary, go ahead. I find that too cumbersome at night. Again, this is a horrific pillow. I sleep with a side sleeper pillow. It's a very big, bulky pillow. It has no give whatsoever, and basically when I lay my head down, it looks exactly like this. It's like sleeping on a rock, but it makes all of my shoulder and everything maintain its normal posture. A lot of times what happens is people will do this and they roll off. Your entire spine is now twisted. All right? I get asked a lot about this semi-side sleeping. This is not okay. You've just rotated your entire spine. All right? So you are going to be herniating a disc. You're twisted. You know how they say bending and twisting is really bad for your back? This is like doing a twist position all night long. All right? So you want to lay on your side and you want to make sure you have your side pillow, and that, again, your pelvis, your back, your hips are in neutral. All right? You want to stop sleeping in positions where your pelvis is not in neutral, where you're down like this or you're extended, something where it's pulling your back out of alignment. When you wake up, you should feel refreshed. Your back should feel refreshed. If you're tossing and turning all night, you need to correct how you're sleeping. You need to figure out where the deficiency is with your sleeping posture. I get asked a lot about a figure 4 position. So this is the figure 4. This one is not terrible, okay? If this is how you sleep and this is comfortable for you, do it. This is actually just opening up your hip. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of with a figure 4 sleeping position is this hip on the other side tends to pop up. If your hips are not completely stretched out, you're going to have either this hip popped up or this leg popped up. That is not okay. Because if your leg's up like this, it's pulling your hip into that rotation, all right? If your leg is not flat, All right, so if your hips are completely stretched out and you're able to lay flat like this is okay. You still have that extension in your spine, which is not the best, but if this is comfortable for you, this is the least offensive position out of sleeping on your stomach or sleeping without pillows underneath. This at least gives you a little bit of support in through that low back. But again, you have to have your leg completely flat in the bed, and this other hip has to be down. It can't be popping up. Otherwise, it's going to rotate. You should be able to get through an entire night's sleep without waking up because of pain. And if not, then there's something going on in your sleeping position. And you may have to barricade yourself, and you may have to prop pillows everywhere until you get comfortable. I know in the middle of the night you don't know what you're doing, and half the time you wake up and the pillows are everywhere. Reset yourself. Eventually you will stay there, and if you get comfortable enough, you're just going to fall asleep and you're not going to move. But sometimes it does take retraining, especially if you're a stomach sleeper and that's all you want to do. It's going to take a couple of nights, couple of weeks to get everything back to reset and let your body know it's okay to sleep on your side or it's okay to sleep on your back. But you want to find a position that makes you feel good in the morning. If you don't, that is part of the problem, that you have back pain, neck pain, hip pain, whatever it may be. If you know someone who has back pain, hip pain, neck pain, and wants a free consultation with a doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898, and we'd be happy to get you in. Thanks, and have a good night.